We've been planning this out for 2 months because camera guy Ben was in New Mexico and I had no camera. Well, I had a camera, I had no lens.
Right.
So we've been planning this out for a while. But you go by persona as Nomad. How long ago did you get into music, and what made you, I guess, gravitate towards? Were you always into music, or was it something that you kind of like, hey, this is something I want to do?
Right. So I was always into music ever since I was a little kid. Basically, when other kids were like tinkering with like Tonka trucks and shit, I was like jamming on like a fake guitar or like a little keyboard. And then when I was like 13, I went to my first concert in like a
Who was it?
It was Meatloaf.
Meatloaf,
yeah.
dude. So, not to interrupt, I watched Sausage Party the other night. Sausage Party and Meatloaf,
Exactly. Yeah, it's like almost like a cameo. Rest in peace. He just died a year and a half ago. So yeah, and so it was my first concert, and I never heard live music like that before, like loud. You know what I mean? I've always like listened to music like in my room on the stereo, whatever, like on my old CD player. Obviously because I'm '90s kid. But this is like my first time. Yeah, exactly. This is my first time seeing and hearing live music at that magnitude, and I'll never forget. I was like, who is this Meatloaf guy? My mom got me these tickets for my birthday. Okay, when I was like 13, and I was like, we're going to see who? Like, who the hell is this guy, right? And long story short, like we get there, I just said like the magnitude of the music, but this guy comes out and he starts playing electric guitar, not Meatloaf, but a guy that was playing for Meatloaf, and it was like like first boner type feeling.
Was he big back then, Meatloaf?
Well, so when I saw him, he wasn't as big, but what's funny about Meatloaf, and why I have a lot of respect for him, was he was huge in the 70s, okay? Like, he had a huge album called Bat Out of Hell, and he absolutely blew up, was touring worldwide. He was absolutely phenomenal and toured everywhere, but then he, like, died off for, like, 15 years.
Yeah.
And his career just completely plummeted, like, no one ever heard anything from him. And then in the 90s, he came out with a song that's, like, super famous, I'll Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That. And that song just like completely resurrected his career, and he started touring again. And then like he kind of did his thing with that, and that's when I saw him in the early 2000s. But yeah, just the music just captivated me, and immediately when I heard the electric guitar, I turned to my mom, who brought me to the concert, and I said, I want to start taking guitar lessons.
So that was your first instrument, was guitar?
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, before I got serious and actually learned the instrument, I messed around with the piano a little bit, but it was always just playing around. Luckily, the piano isn't really that. It's a difficult instrument if you want to get classically trained and if you want to really get into some serious shit. But realistically, all you have to do is hit the black notes, and it's all going to sound like somewhat copacetic because they're all sharp notes. So it's like if you have like luckily for me, I think one of the main reasons why I'm good with music is because I have a decent ear.
You're musically in tune.
Yeah, I can hear something, whether it's in a song, whether it's hitting the wrong note on the piano, and it immediately sounds dissonant, which means like you can just tell that it's not in key with what you're playing. Did
it take you a long time to figure that out? Because that's a hard thing to hear. Like, if I hear music, like I'll listen to a song,
right,
and I'll hear something like it sounds like I just know if I like it or if I don't like it. I'm not gonna hear like 808s in the background or drums or whatever the fuck the case may be. I'll just hear something and be like, that's not for me. So how did you, I guess, build that kind of knowledge for stuff like that?
I think it's natural. Like, I think that's you ever see like a kid in high school like fucking dribble a basketball with two hands because he has no idea what he's doing. He has like he has no hand-eye coordination, or it's just not in tune with that thing. And then you throw another kid a ball, and it's just like it's natural, So like I think that's how it kind of was for me. Like growing up with music was it was natural, and it kind of came easy to me. But then I started taking guitar lessons, and I will preach this till the day I die. Teachers Whether it's a coach, whether it's a teacher in school, whether it's a guitar teacher, teachers can absolutely change your life.
Mm-hmm.
And this teacher that I had, his name's Petey Hop. He's just a rock. Yeah. Like, dude, this guy's just a rock star, man. Like,
he's back home.
Yeah, he's back home in New York. And this guy, he actually played my mom's wedding, and he killed it. But this guy, he knew how to talk to me. Like, he knew how, like I feel like a great teacher can look at their student and
he was a teacher at school?
No. This was at a music school.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like in my town, I went to a music school where they did a bunch of different lessons and all
so
this
he
shit.
was your introduction to you actually like
learning guitar.
Right.
And this guy, I've always been impressed by people that put a lot of time and effort into things like a trade or whatever it is. If you're really good at what you do, like it shows that you care. It shows you have dedication. This guy, so this is back in the iPod days, right? I don't know if you remember this, but like there was like an iHome dock where you could plug your iPod in and then it would play the music out of the speaker. So what I would do is I would take my iPod to guitar lessons and he would plug it in and clear as day, the song would start playing and he would just listen to the song and start playing and figure it out within 5 minutes. He knew how to play the whole thing, and that's how he would teach me. So I would basically bring him in different songs, and he would just teach me what I wanted to learn. But what was so detrimental about the way he taught was he made it fun. Like I remember one time he wasn't in town, maybe he had a gig or something, and another one of the teachers, a guitar teacher, he was gonna give me a lesson that day, and I went in, and it was like almost like I was falling asleep because he was it was so boring. But this is what really introduced me to like the world of music, and he was like a successful touring. He had a band, he played guitar, obviously. But that was like my first introduction into the music world, and just the way that this guy taught me and the way that he talked about music and how passionate he was about it, it was like one of the first times where I like found something where I was really like I thought I knew what I wanted to do. You know, 14.
14. That's huge, bro. That's
huge. But you also have to understand too. Like, I started racing BMX, like bicycle motocross, when I was 6. So ever since I was 6 years old, I had been competing and doing things where like I saw where I was weak and I had to strengthen myself. You know, so like it was almost perfect because I was coming off of doing really great things with the BMX racing, like getting sponsored by energy drinks and all this whole 9 yards. And that carried over into, because it's all about building confidence, like from winning and losing and being able to
pedestal yourself, put yourself higher up, you know?
Yeah. It's like, I feel like people either are sheltered like for a lot of their childhood or they're not sheltered.
Yeah.
And I just felt like because I was doing a lot, it built a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So then going into music, I felt like I can take because when I started racing at a young age, I knew nothing, right? And then here I am, 14, had been racing for 8 years at that point.
So would you say you took your BMX career at a young age and applied it to
yeah, because it was like I understood at a young age that if I work at something, because I went from not knowing what the hell I was doing on a bicycle, right, when I was 6 years old, to then literally placing 5th in the national race in every year they have a race in Kentucky where all the people from your age group because it's like motocross, you know what I mean? You have classes and you have all this stuff, but I from winning and placing nationally, it made it where when I go into music, I understood that if I put my time and effort into this, like I could
succeed.
Yeah, because coming off of that, I literally, I was like signed by this energy drink where I was like 12 years old, okay? And they would send these like models in like booty shorts, right? To like walk around the BMX track with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like 12 years old, so like it was not that it was weird, but it was like it was, I felt accomplished.
Yeah. Right.
I really felt accomplished. And at a young age. So that was like, I felt like that's what that's why I feel like I am even how I am today, is because I've won and I've lost. You know, the more wins and losses you rack up, I truthfully believe it's experience.
Right.
You know,
build yourself as a person.
Yeah.
I always constantly preach that we're not, everyone here is given a defined purpose, and not that we build ourselves in a way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're put here on this earth, and we have to kind of figure shit out for what it is.
Right.
You build yourself as a human being through experiences.
Right.
And with you having those experiences early on in BMX,
Right.
it taught you how to win, it taught you how to lose.
Right.
Would you say that gave you your drive to pursue music? Like, I understand, yes, it was the introduction to, and it brought you this, I guess, accomplishment sense, but would you say that this early on gave you your motivation to do what you do today? Do you think if you did, sorry, let me restate the question. If you did BMX, would you be doing music today the same way you do it now?
I think probably not, because BMX was just it was like my first love, it was like, that was my first, some kids, they play baseball, some kids, I played football, in high school, because when I was 15, I kind of got a little, BMX was played, I had been doing it for 10 years, and when you're a kid, you're doing something as a kid for 10 years, that's a long time, you know what I mean? So I was all the popular kids in school, they were on the football team, so I wanted to, do football and all this stuff, so I lost interest in BMX. And the thing was that I kind of was looking for that new thing, and music had always been a thing, but it wasn't something I could compete in.
Yeah.
It wasn't something, and even at that time, it took me too long to understand production. It took me too long, and I'm upset about that, because if I would have started music production when I was 16, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
That's how I honestly feel. Or maybe I would be, what I mean? But
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
How old did you start music production?
Dude, I started music production when I was 21, 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so about 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But I started DJing when I was 16, and that's where I went wrong. Not where I went wrong, but I was really big into DJing, and I don't know why I didn't at that time sink my teeth into the production. I think it was a little bit harder. Now, it's much easier to.
You regret starting at 21, 22?
I wish I started earlier.
Yeah.
Just because. I would have had a little bit more of my youth, and I see some of these people that are so big, you know what I mean? They're 23,
people that are
24.
blown up now, but aren't even, in comparison to what you've done on the scale that you're at,
right?
The people that are blowing up now, in the grand scheme of things, you could kind of pick out who's going to be a fad and who's not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I feel like almost everybody now is almost a fad, but not because of their lack of talent or whatever the case is, just because I think that people's
social media is.
Yeah, and our attention spans. I made this point a week ago. It's hard to. So I listen to timeless music, okay?
Yeah.
I listen to music that, in my opinion, doesn't age. That's why I like Meatloaf. You know what I mean? It's it sounds funny, but listen to it sometimes, and you'll understand why. It's timeless. It doesn't have a certain sound to it. It's timeless.
Right.
So with that being the case, I feel like now it's so hard to make timeless music because we're moving so fast.
Yep.
We're moving 1,000,000 miles per hour.
To nowhere.
To the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. The technology boom has just made people want more now. So it's hard to create timeless because we don't even digest. You know what I mean? We don't even digest. We're
look at the iPhone. You get a new one every
single year.
Fucking year. It's the same shit.
It's sad. It's sad because when you, in the name of progression and constantly progressing, you lose that that feeling of now.
Right.
Right. When is now?
Right.
When now is always tomorrow.
And everyone always wants instant gratification. That's something I learned from social media.
Well, I think it's our it's actually, I think people might not realize, or maybe they do, but I think it has a lot to do with just literally programming.
Yeah.
Our brains are now programmed. we're on our phone all the time. We're doing, and it's everybody, and it's become it's become the case where if you're not like that, see ya. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not, like you're not a part of the times. You're not this or.
It's kind of like, you watch The Boys?
No, it's on.
So I think it's on Amazon Prime. I don't
superheroes, right?
Yeah, I know it because of my cousin, but they have this idea that like it's media status, social media, and if you ain't shit, you're done. So pretty much, you just put it into a TV show.
Yeah, exactly.
I could be butchering the fuck out of it.
But that's how it is. And like even just like talking about like the conversation we had, before the cameras were rolling about how people don't believe in you, and some people do. There's people that believe in you. Those people are fucking gems. But a lot of people, the masses, they don't believe in you until you have mass population. Right. And it's sad because, like, all right, so for example, like with just music production, some of my friends make incredible music, and because they don't have the X factor, they don't have the fucking, it's hard. It's the attitude, the look, the whatever it is that's going to set you apart from the other person. Their job is way harder. You know what I mean? And I think that sucks because the talent is there. You know what I mean? But it's no longer about talent. It's about selling. It's about popularity. It's about likeness. Your talent is almost like security. Like I tell a close friend of mine all the time, if you develop a skill in life, you'll always be needed, and that's why I feel like, especially like right now, it's especially because of the internet, we're creating a world where you can become rich from having like no talent or no providing no skill. You know what I mean? And it's tough because everybody plays a role. Everybody, whether you're a barber, whether you're a cameraman, whether you're the entertainer at the club, everyone has their role in life, and you playing your role to the best you can play it is what creates this incredible society that we're in. And when you remove people from that, track, and you make it where, you can just dance on TikTok and become a millionaire, you keep feeding that, you're gonna have less nurses, you're gonna have less, and I'm not just saying it about, chicks, but I'm saying even the dudes, you're gonna have less electricians, you're gonna have less barbers, because all you gotta do is make a couple viral videos or something and
shake your ass a little bit.
Yeah, or shake your ass, you know what I'm saying, which is the easy way to go. I mean, bro, I'd be shaking my ass if I had it. But at the same time, it's like you have to listen, if you want to shake your ass, right, and make that dough, but you're still working your ass off at a skill or a trade or whatever the case is that you can apply to, because listen, that ass is going to start sagging.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So and that's why I always say, like, for whether you're a guy or a girl, if you set yourself up with the proper skills and that people need, you're always going to be, you'll always be needed.
Yeah. Well, that's like, dude, I'm a big believer in everyone's got their own purpose, everything happens for a reason, type thing.
Right.
And like you said, we're all put here for a defined reason. It's up to us. I don't think we find the reason. I think it finds us. And I like to use myself as an example all the time, because this right here, barbering, I die for this, bro. I would die for barbering any fucking day of the week.
Right.
But it's not because I love what I do. It's because of my why.
Yeah.
And my why is my grandfather and my great-grandfather.
Right.
My great-grandfather cut hair, in the early 1900s for years. He was Joe the Barber. Now I'm Joe the Barber. Just fucking,
you're passed. Yeah, the baton's being passed on, and you're keeping on your family tradition.
Yeah. And that's why I love it so much. Now, if my hands fell off, bro, I'd find a way to cut hair.
Right.
If my feet stopped working, I'd find a way to cut hair. Just because, like I said, of my why. And I think if everybody truly let their why come to them, we would be in a better society overall. And I think social media blinds people to that. Dude, 100%. Like you said, if you were a chick or even a guy, whatever the fuck you want to shake your ass and make money. But at the same point in time, you will not be relevant in 10 years from now.
Exactly.
You will not be relevant.
Yeah, or what are you gonna be known for? How do you want to be known? How do you want because people, I think, they don't think about legacy. Maybe they just don't care because money, listen, people are just greedy. They see the money and they want it. But, if that's, it all depends on your look of life and what life
I think it's how you're brought up,
means.
how you're raised.
Yeah, but dude, think about it. It's like, it's all about, how you look at life. Like if you look at life like this is just a one-shot thing, like all right, we're crazy animals and we're then whatever, be greedy, do this.
Do whatever you want.
But if you think that there's a higher purpose, like if you think that we're here for a reason, if you think that the way you act in life will. Like the word I use is legacy. Like like if your legacy means nothing to you, then sure. But if your legacy means something to you, then obviously you act a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and you touched on it, but I think one of the biggest issues is a lot of people, they don't know their purpose.
They don't know their purpose.
And they feel lost.
Yep.
And that's
people like, why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? And that's where jealousy comes in.
Right. Oh, 100%. It's you only look. You're only jealous. Listen, everybody gets a little jealous. Everybody gets a little envious. That's just human nature. Yeah. But when you're living through other people, it's because you're not. You're missing something.
Right.
And I think the truth is that people, because of the internet, I think a lot people don't go out as much.
Yeah.
They don't adventure as much. I think the internet has made people even less as risk takers, because I think it's so easy to just do whatever you want behind a computer, and that's just a way easier way of being. We used to go into a store to apply to work. Now we apply online.
Yeah.
Like it's made it where we're like disconnected.
Well,
so
it's taken away the interaction between two people. This is why I like to podcast.
Yeah.
Having interaction, no phones, nothing. The only technology you get is
right. Exactly. Yeah, it's important. It's really important. Discord is important. It's really important just to talk. And even though you got a billion voices on the internet, it's like it's hard to explain. It's like you have a million voices, but you have no voices because. If you're your opinion means nothing. I mean, not that it means nothing, but I'll never see you. No. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go on vacation, you're like, I'll never see these people ever again. It's like when you're on the internet, it's like it's like the Wild West. It's like you feel like people do shit on the internet that they wouldn't do in their town. You know what I mean? Or they say something to somebody that they wouldn't say in real life. And I think because of that, it's created. And I think even with a lot of the younger,
well, it's all self-illusion too. It's all self-illusion.
But younger kids, even like these like internet kids, I think it's now transforming from I'll say whatever I want on the internet to now like they have that confidence in real life, which it could be a good thing or a bad thing. But the truth is like Discord, talking to each other and making sure that everyone's got to help out. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
People, and this is one thing I disagree with a lot of what people are saying now. Everyone lately, over the past X amount of years, has been saying, "Oh, you need to put yourself first. You need to put yourself first." I think you have to, take care of yourself, but I think it's what you do in the world that defines who you are. And if you treat people like you could treat yourself like a king, but if you treat everybody else like shit, how does that look for you? And that's exactly like people are saying, oh, put yourself first. I don't think you should put others first, but I think if you put others on the same level as yourself and just realize that we're all here together, it makes for a lot. You tell people put themselves first. You're telling them, don't agree with other people if they have a disagreement, if they feel a different way, because you got to put yourself first. Where it's like, no, like let me understand where you come from.
Right.
Because how do you learn without listening? And
you don't.
You don't. And if you only look in,
Yeah.
But at the same time, people, everybody's different.
Everyone is different, and I think that that's also makes the world go around. Like you said, look at people through a different lens. Look at people, for what they are. I've learned a lot as of recent, and I'm still trying to do it.
Well, you're young. I mean, you're 22, right?
Years old, fucking mind of a 52-year-old.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to judge people a lot less because me getting older and experiencing things, dude. Look, I haven't experienced shit to shit, in comparison to people around me, But I think I have more of a head on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
one, the older I get, two, with who I surround myself by, because I was brought up, I was old school Italian. That's just how it was. I always hung around with the people, always hung around my pops, mom, whoever, and just grandpa, everybody. And I was always taught these things to live a certain way, to be a certain way, to do a certain thing.
Right.
And as I get older, I interpret and take in my own morals, my own values, the things that I want to see. And like I just said a few seconds ago, I've learned to judge people way less. When I go outside, look at stuff like, look at this fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
well,
just,
everybody people watches,
right,
and like that's like a big thing that it's we all listen. Everybody, it has to be light, like no one. Everybody makes fun. Everybody fucks around. Everybody jokes around. Yeah. But it's totally different to be absolutely rude or say something to another people. Yeah. But I think another thing that has changed drastically is comedy. Is what we can joke about. You know what I mean? And I just like that we need to be able to laugh at ourselves and at others. Because dude, what do we even have going on here? You know what I'm saying?
Right, like if you the fuck half this is.
Yeah, if you look around, it's like you think you had, oh yeah, we're so smart. Like
we're not.
We're not.
We're on a floating fucking rock.
Exactly.
We're on a floating rock with zero knowledge of anything. Yes, we have knowledge of previous, experiences, through, stuff that happened through experience from other people, passed on to generations.
Yeah, history is written by the victor. So but all that, all we can do is learn from the past. But the thing is I think people are becoming super serious, and we take ourselves so serious. And that's why, I love to be an artist. Like, that's why I love making music. That's why I love being, more in touch with my creative side, because it's almost like, listen, I think there has to be a balance between order and chaos, right? And the order is, my life. It's my going to my job, paying my bills and feeding myself and taking care of my cat. That's my order. Yeah. And then, my chaos is, my art and my music and my being able to disconnect from...
So how do you separate the two? Because with me being so young, I've had a very, very difficult time separating my home life and barbering. When I'm home, I'm watching videos on my phone. I'm like this the whole fucking time.
Barber stuff?
Videos. Yeah, just because I want to better myself. So from a younger guy asking you, how do you separate?
An older guy?
Asking an older guy. How did you learn to distance yourself? Because you've been in the music game for how many years now?
Yeah, almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years.
Yeah.
How have you learned to separate music to everyday life? Or do you?
I don't. It's not. So, how you're talking about looking at videos on your phone about barbering and stuff. So that's the same thing with me and music. My social medias are all are music and artists performing. Yeah. So it's daily ingestion of all that kind of content. But the thing is like anything, there's highs and lows. If I have a bad day, maybe I'm not so eager to get in the studio, or sometimes if I have a bad day, I'm eager to get in the studio. Most of my best tracks that I've written have been written off of spite, my song "Sick Boy" for an example. I was in a Twitch of a famous DJ, and he was playing music and shit, and my username on Twitch it's Nomad baby, just like my Instagram and everything. So I'm typing in the chat, and this guy writes under me, and his username is Nomad, right? And he's like, bro, I'm Nomad, right? And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm Nomad. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Yeah. And that night, I just I wanted to prove that I'm Nomad. You know what I mean? So with that fueled me to write Sick Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's probably also going back to the conversation we just had. We need fuel. Fuel is one of the most important things.
Whether it's negative or positive.
Yeah, exactly. Fuel, you gotta find your fuel.
What fuel do you like more? Negative or positive?
Negative.
All fucking
not. I hate negativity.
Well, right, but negative fuel towards you. If I came and said, "Yo, fuck your music," you'd be like,
"Oh yeah."
What the fuck?
Well, you'd be asleep.
Right.
In 5 seconds.
That's it. You know, I also believe in you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the effort, you get what you want. Like I said, I don't believe in instant gratification. And I think, like I said, it's in today's world because of these things right here.
Yeah.
You know, it's all
Distractions.
It's all distraction.
It
And
is.
it's good and it's bad. Like this right here, this podcast can go up on social media, this could fucking go up, it
Right.
could sit mid-level, it could sink.
Right.
Whatever the fuck it does, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's out there for the world to interpret. It's going to take it however the fuck it
Yeah.
wants. People
Exactly.
can watch and be like, oh, these guys are assholes. You know?
Yeah, well, you know what's so funny is I didn't even realize how much I enjoyed content like this.
Yeah.
and
It's fun, man.
Because it's funny because people have said to me like, oh, you should vlog, you should do this. And I'm always like, this is my immediate reaction. Who the fuck's gonna watch that shit?
Yeah.
Right? My immediate reaction. Who the fuck's gonna watch that? And then I'll be scrolling on YouTube. And I find myself watching some just random dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, and I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm watching this person, you know. So I think that it's really cool to make content. Period. As long as it's not like you know, brain fucking eating shit. You know. Yeah, like we all take in our memes. We all take in like the crazy, stupid videos our friends send us. But it's super important to watch quality content.
Yep, it is.
And I'll tell you, and one thing that I just wish I could just amplify this to the fucking world. Be very, very conscious of what you're putting into your body. Okay? People always talk about food, you know, oh, you know, I want to eat this, I want to eat this. Music, movies, videos, whatever it is, you take in negative, you know, stupid content, that's affecting you. You know, listen to people that speak fucking English. You know what I'm saying? Like that talk common sense.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And obviously not just speak English, like
right,
you speak any language you want. But you know what I mean? Like speak, you know, that talk in a way that you can understand, because that people do this thing called word salad, where they just fucking talk. You know what I mean? And you know, if you're authentic and you say what you mean and you stand by it, you know, you're gonna come across way more
genuine.
Yeah, and likable.
Yeah.
I mean, people, you know, you can just. There's so many examples where there are people who are complete like assholes, right? But like you respect the fact that they're like authentic with themselves, you know. And it's like, yo, like I might not fuck with that guy, I might not agree with him, but yo, the dude, he's doing his thing, you know.
And I think it's great to be authentic. Like you look at this, goes back to the comparison and the jealousy thing. People, for instance, say, "I wish I was like him," or "I wish I was like her." I've learned from being a barber to fucking flipping pizzas for my parents, just be authentic to who you are. If you're not authentic to who you are, you're gonna appear fake to everybody else.
Exactly.
Not that it matters what anybody thinks of you, because if you choose to be that persona, then you're gonna be that persona.
Right.
But if you want to be the very best version of yourself, and this goes back to what we talked earlier, just be authentic to who you are. No matter who likes you, if they like you, cool. If they don't, fuck it, cool.
Exactly.
Just be you.
Yeah,
you will gravitate towards people who want to be around you.
Right, and don't look at it from, because I feel like a lot of people look at it from like a person-to-person case, like, you know, like I act this way with this person, I act this way with this person, and just like what you said, if you're authentic and just stay yourself all the time, all of the people that are supposed to be in your life will be there, and the people that aren't supposed to won't be there, you know. And it's almost like magic how that works, you know, because we, no matter what, like, and we all do it to a certain extent, but we all have to be in, like, listen, the way that I'm acting right now is not the way that I act when I'm at home, you know, in my room, and I'm on, you know, but I'm on a PlayStation with my boys, and we're, you know, it's, everybody is that monster when they're alone, you know what I mean, that is just free to do whatever the hell they want, walk around in their underwear kind of attitude. But like, when you come out to society, and like this is what I was touching on earlier, it's your duty to be a good person and to, you know, like the word would be like paint on face, but I don't want to use paint on face because that sounds fake. But it's like it's your job to present yourself, you know, and be that
authoritative figure.
Yeah, exactly. Just feel like that upper that level of yourself that you know. And what I pride myself on, I'm a super goofy dude. Like I love just being absolutely goofy. Like you know, what the hell is this guy doing, right? But then what I love is that, you know, the second it needs to be serious, it's immediately serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's there, because you have certain people that are just goofballs, right? Like,
Yeah.
yo, that dude's just a goof, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have other people that are like, yo, that dude's just way too serious. Like, that dude needs to have personality, or, you know, he's just super vanilla.
I think we have different, like, personalities.
Yeah.
There's Barber Joe, there's At Home Joe,
Right.
Video Game Joe,
Right.
there's fucking Gym Joe,
Right.
there's whatever the hell, you know, but...
Yeah, exactly.
And I think
Well, that's you
people
expressing yourself in each,
through
you know.
different, right, through different experiences, and I think people don't know how to separate that, you know, and that's where it creates a staleness of, this guy needs, you know, personality, this
Right.
guy needs to be less serious or more serious, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a hard time, like, doing the juggling act. Because it's not easy to juggle. It's not easy to you know, think about what you say before you say it. I mean, a lot of people, especially when you're in a comfortable environment,
Just say shit.
just say whatever you want. You know, it takes growing up a little bit to understand that your words have value.
Well, I think it takes growing up, but I think it also takes experience. Like, I understand that, you know, I'm 22 years old.
Right.
I said earlier, mine a 52-year-old, just because of the way I was raised.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
also your upbringing. Like, if I hear someone say something stupid, be like, what?
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly.
That's-
You hear it immediately. Like, you hear the like the, you know, like, I don't want to say you cringe, but like you kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh wow.
I don't want to be around that. Or,
It's you know, but there's times where I'm in my daily life and someone's doing something and I'm looking at them going, oh my god, I wouldn't be caught dead doing that. Like, that's so disrespectful,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever the case is. But you know, it's not my place to do anything.
Right.
I have my own feelings. But like I said, like when I think it was a real turning point for me, was understanding that, like, your words have value and that choose your words wisely, because the words that you say can change someone's life, and the things that you do can change somebody's life, and to pick and choose wisely, you know, what you say and what you do, because I was always a go-getter, always, and I was always trying to do this and trying to do that, and then I just realized, like, okay, let me just slow down a little bit and let me, you know, really focus on what I value
when
the
did
most.
you acquire that go-getter mentality? Was it from an
Ever
early
since
age?
I
Ever
was
since you
a
were a
kid. I think that, like we were talking about
Do you
with
think it was instilled in
BMX.
you from your parents? Or do you think it just kind of happened?
I think my dad is definitely a go-getter. Like, I think my dad is I like to think of him as like he's very big into hobbies. He goes from hobby to hobby to hobby, right? And I'm very similar to that. Like, I like hobbies too, and I think that they're really cool. I've stuck to mine a little bit harder. You know what I mean? But I think to want to have hobbies, you have to want to have drive. I think you have to want to have you know, the time and the effort to put, because no matter what the hobby is, it takes time.
It does.
You know,
and do you think drive and wanting to go after something is a, I guess,
natural born gift? Yeah, 100%.
Gift, yeah.
I think so, because there are people that you can fucking beat it into their head and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why I think it's natural is because I don't wake up and go, I'm gonna step on the gas today. Like, I just wake up with the fucking pedal to the metal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not even something that I think about. It's just who
Just
I
happens.
am.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, and I'm blessed for that. You know, that I look at other people and I get sad because I go, you could be great. You know, you could be something else, but they don't
See it.
They don't see it. They don't. And this is why I say over and over again, it has to do with winning and losing. If you get a taste of winning at a young age, you're going to want to keep winning. If you don't get a taste of any of that shit, you don't even know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always, I want to win. I want to be better, you know? And I feel like there's other people that, because of the lack of wins that they've gotten, they don't crave that win. They don't.
Yeah.
I see myself as if I'm not winning, I'm losing.
Right.
So I try to stay winning, and when I lose, I'm angry.
Yeah, I'm a mindfuck here.
I'm upset. Yeah, it's like you know, because I'm new as a barber. Like,
right.
when I mess that guy's hair up,
I think about it like, let me stop you right there for 1 second. Wins and losses, yeah, it's real thing. You know, you win some, you lose some. Everybody says that. Through my experience and what I know at the age of 22, I look at it as winning and lessons.
right? Yeah, exactly.
I did this girl, right? We go through this trials and tribulations. I learned things. It's a
Right.
lesson, right? She left. Did I lose her?
Right.
I gained experience
Right.
through something that was here for the moment in time. But now in the grand scheme of things, I feel like I lost my fuck. I just she's gone. This is not here.
The material side of it.
Material's out of it.
Right.
But the older I get, and the more I realize that okay, that was a lesson.
Right.
I think it flipped this switch in my brain to where if I'm not winning, I'm learning.
Right.
You know. 100%. And now is there times where, like I said, my God, I just lost. Like you said, you just mentioned barbering, which you just recently got into barbering, which is fucking amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's way better than sweating my ass off out working out in the sun.
Hot ass attic.
You know, I love that I have blue collar roots, man. Like I love that. Ever since I was 16, I've been working full time. You know, anywhere from working at the place that stocks all of Yankee Stadium, Ace Indico. I used to drive a forklift and put stock away for big venues like that. You know, and then doing like building houses like Frame and Crew, and then HVAC, like doing air conditioning stuff. I'm so happy that I've done those things because if you are here, when you go here, you feel much better. And my thing is coming from down here, it's like because of my mindset, I've only been able to go up. You know, and
there's no going down. I believe once you learn through experience. I mean, yes, you can sink. You could sink to fucking rock bottom and hit shit and fucking sit there, but it's if matter if you get up. And if you're not learning through those experiences and those lessons, then what are you really doing?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're not there. You know what I mean? Like, and some people. That's why I feel like some people that are lost. I feel the worst for them because I don't think some people are even self-aware. Like, I think that there's so many lessons and opportunities that are there that people just don't even. It doesn't come up on the radar.
I think it, like I said in the beginning, it comes from like childhood and how you're brought up.
Yeah.
Because I use my parents as an example. Bro, they're go getters.
Yeah.
That's where I get it from. Like
You're super lucky to grow up in a family with parents being together.
It's so constant fucking support.
That's
what it comes down to.
It's very important for parents to be together for their kids, and it sets a really good example.
I also think like that's what drives certain people too. Like if your parents are split up, like my parents weren't together when she was a kid, and look at her, you know what I mean? So I also think in how you're wired,
right?
What you see as a kid, like you said earlier, what you take in music wise,
what
you take in video wise, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, the way your parents raised you is huge. It's super detrimental. My dad let me do whatever the hell I want. And that gave me my freedom to like burn my hand on the stove, you know what I mean? I learned my lessons, and my mom, she taught me manners, and she taught me respect and be
a man.
And I think both of them are so detrimental to me growing up because now later in life I'm way more mannered and I'm way more I hold myself to like a higher standard. And but when I was younger, this is why I feel like I'm really lucky. Like when I was younger, I got to fuck around. I got to fuck around and find out. You know what I mean? I got to go out and hurt myself and go, oh shit, like wow, I hurt myself and learn from it. So I got the best of both worlds, because they were like almost polar opposites, So like I'm lucky for that because like I know that some other people that have really strict parents that are both really strict, like they're more sheltered, and then parents that are like way more open to just doing whatever you want. They have less drive. They have less, focus on, really what's important because they can just do whatever they want. It's a free for all. It's good to have like a good balance.
Balance them too. Yeah,
for sure.
And not everybody has a.
No. You're lucky if parents have both, or if kids have both parents.
Yeah.
And that the people are so. It's so important to have those figures in your life.
Not even just parents. Parents play a big role, but it's who you surround yourself by.
Yeah. That's the biggest
Like, let's
thing.
say people don't have parents, and my great grandfather, and great grandma was just not great as in the sense of like generation.
Great, good person. Yeah. All of my grandparents I was very, very close with.
Yeah.
And I still am close with my I would take a bullet for my grandma in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
She is such a special person to me. But I'm invested. My biggest thing, and it's funny because I'll get shit about it sometimes. But it's like I invest time in people. Okay, like I have a niece and nephew that I've invested so much time in, and they love me. Like when I show up, it's CJ, you know, like they're, and everyone's like, oh, like why, you know, why I invest time in them, and they know that. And like whether you're smart enough, older, obviously, like my grandmother, like I invest time in her too, and that's why we have the relationship that we have. That's why we communicate the way that we do, maybe a little bit more than other people in my family. But that's because I invest time, and I actually take the time to call these people. But it's because I
care.
I love them, and I want to be in their lives.
I also look at it too. Like I'm glad you used that example. I've had the question been raised to me. I mean, just either I thought it up or someone asked me, like, would you hang out, like, younger, you hang out with yourself now?
Right.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I want other, like, my little brother, for example, like, he's going to be 12. We butt heads. You know, I'm 22.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, dude, he just say shit. What the?
Right, exactly.
And then there'll be times where I take a step back. I'm like, okay, this kid's got to look up to me. You know? I gotta set an example. I gotta invest time in it. I gotta invest time in our relationship, and that goes for any relationship, not just him and I. I'm using that as an example.
Right.
But like I said, I look at it like, okay, well, I want to hang out with myself now. You know, and it's huge.
Yeah, exactly. I'm to touch on that. Like I'm super proud of what I've been able to do. Like if I could like get on the phone with like the 16-year-old me and tell him like the things that I've done, it would just be so beyond the realm of belief.
You're not even done yet.
Yeah, no, but it's just
of what you've accomplished.
Just like the idols that I've had that really helped me like steer my life in the proper direction, and how I've gotten to spend time with them.
Yeah.
And
idols as in like
Tiesto, you know, some of these bigger EDM acts.
Well, so much, dude. But and that goes back to what we talked about earlier, the go-getting. Just go shoot your fucking shot. I'm gonna use myself as an example, not to toot my own fucking horn, but 22-year-old dude, right? Graduated high school, didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. Was working with my parents, right? I was working at a pizza restaurant, doing A, B, and C.
Yeah.
I started a podcast. I just reached out to people, emails, DMs, 50, 60 people a day. Just say, hey, come on my show, hey, come on my show,
exactly.
hey, come on my
just
show.
Hammering
my shot.
Yeah.
And the response I got back was, no, hit me up next time, because people see the numbers thing. They say, this guy's like shit. Or I have people that are genuine and say, okay, you know what, let me message this kid and say, all right, yeah, this is, okay, yeah, we'll be on his podcast.
Right.
You know? And that's creative relationships. Dude, I dropped 74 episodes. Total, all those episodes I dropped in a year and a half. I think I have 35 to 40,000 plays with zero fucking experience. Right. Just me going out there and shooting for the stars.
Hell yeah.
I met Vic Blends, I met Joe DeRosa, I met Casey Jost, Sam Roberts, who used to work for the WWE. I don't know if he does.
Really?
There were just so many people that I've networked and aligned myself with, and I look at that as my school. And that was my college, because I can talk to these people and I say, hey, why did you do this? What made you do this?
Right.
You know, when, how, who, where, why, how. And it created this spiral effect of, okay, I want to surround myself by these people.
Yeah.
Because from an early age, I was surrounded by my parents, which, like I said, I was blessed for, and my grandparents and whoever, and now I took it greater and I took it beyond, and I would just scratch a surface with it, and I said, okay, let me talk to these people who are, I feel, in the same position mentally as I was at that age. Like, I use Vic Blends, for example, all the time. The guys should give me shit and say I ride his dick.
Right.
Which I probably do. But he's a great, genuine fucking dude, and I look up to that. Dude, we're 2 years apart. We're 2 years apart.
Right.
That is nothing.
He's 2 years older than you?
Yeah, he's like 20. I think he's 24. But, like, I look up to a guy like that because I can relate. Not in the sense of, you know, childhood or upbringing, but I can relate to.
So you guys both have a common goal and a common mission, and you see him doing it successfully, and you want to, you know, take his formula and turn it into your own, and you know, idolize it.
Be genuine to myself.
It's so important. Who you idolize, like I said earlier about your teachers, like teachers can change your life, but the idols that you choose are so important. And that's why I feel like I'm so lucky. Like I chose an idol who is Tiesto. He's just a genuine, human being. Like smile on the face kind of guy, you know. And if you find somebody to idolize that is above and beyond a good person, then you'll feel like if you're not that way, you're, you know, like not. Because the thing is, like, even when you draw something, right? You draw it from like an idea in your mind, right? Like you have to. You can't invent a new color. Like you have to take something that you've seen work and then replicate it. You know what I mean? And not replicate it in a way of like completely plagiarize it.
Yeah.
But you do your thing, and the thing is like, I'll watch people who, in my opinion, if you're 55 years old and you're happy, you're like, for me, like that was like a telltale sign, like from my idol, like this guy travels the world, he does all this stuff, and he's so happy, and he gives back, and that was just something that I really appreciated. And then just from being so into that, I just I found myself just being a better person, because but the thing about certainly people that idolize not the best people, and that's where I kind of get a little sad with some of the stuff with the music industry and like some of the bigger acts, especially
the thing about the music industry, like music in general is subjective, but the industry is so subjective.
You
can choose not what you listen to, who you listen to, and that's just in the world in general. I mean, I could go and watch fucking another Barbara Raw, the original cut, and I could watch it blends, and I could say, okay, I like this a little bit more, and gravitate more towards it. It's subjective to how you think, how you feel.
Yeah.
And a lot of people misinterpret that, and like they see like all these popular trends, and this goes back to what we talked earlier, and all this bullshit.
Right. Trends are tough because it's like we need trends because like that's what like keeps culture going.
Yeah.
But it's like trends, I feel like they don't stick around for much longer.
That's why it's a trend. Yeah.
But it's like trend. It's like I also think that we're like handing the keys, like the trendsetters nowadays, like they're not like very trendy.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like kind of tough because you look back. So probably like even before we were born, but like some of the people that were ruling the world when it comes to like pop culture, for an example, it was like, all right, so like obviously Michael Jackson's like a super controversial figure with like all this, like the kid touching and shit. But when you looked at the way that Michael Jackson acted for the most part, like as a human being, it wasn't look at me, like Sam Smith kind of shit. You know what I mean? It was way more about like, I'm an artist, I make my music, but let's focus on what I'm doing. Like, let's focus to all the money I'm putting towards AIDS research or whatever the case is. Where I feel like nowadays, villains are who run the show. That's the way it works. If you look at 90% of the people that are popular now, like they have way more of a villain approach.
Do you think that stems from early on?
It stems
from a mask, like paint fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that it stems from a lack of religion in this country.
Yeah.
I think that since like the 70s and 80s, there's been a drastic decline in faith in America. And I think, when, like we were talking about the common purpose, man, like for a long time, a lot of people's common purpose was belief, and then you remove that and you have all these people not knowing what
Why is it being removed? Is it just society?
Yeah, well, no, I think one of the biggest things for like today is in the 90s, I think we went through this very, like, 90s was very rebellious, okay? Like in culture. Like very like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. You know what I mean? So I think that in the 90s, religion just took a huge plummet. And then I just think that with the tech age and everything, it's not there anymore. But the thing is, like when it comes to people and their common purpose, like so, like just like what you said with people when it comes to Vic blends and all this other stuff, like you guys are on the same path. I feel like the issue is that certain people they are having a hard time finding their path.
Yeah. And
for a very very long time, like having faith was like a path that everyone can kind of like the umbrella. Like it, with America, like up until somewhat recently, like our umbrella was we're all American. We're all together. We're all in this together. And I feel like we're slowly getting more and more away from that, and I think a lot of it has to do with disconnect with like the internet and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, if you if you find your purpose, then everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll stop worrying about so much other shit.
Not necessarily, like I said earlier, I don't think it's about finding personally. For me, I think it's just, it finds you.
Yeah, of course. Well, like I said, like just living life, and then it coming about.
Yeah.
You know, and people.
Do you ever think you'd be cutting hair?
No.
See?
No, I mean, well, all right. So if I'm going to be honest, like 10 years ago, or maybe a little less than 10 years ago, I went through like this phase where I was really obsessed with straight razors.
Yeah.
Like,
you had an idea for it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it would be fucking sick if I could learn how to use a straight razor. But I never thought about barbering ever.
But that's the example. Like, you're just going through life, bro. Like, you went from BMX to music to barbering. You've done other stuff in between. I'm just naming off 3 things that made you who you are today.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were like, what? You never.
Out of left field.
Like, I say to my cousin all the time, or even my little brother, I'm like, you think I'd be cutting your hair? He's like, no. He's 12. He's like, oh, yeah, no. And think of my cousin. He's like, dude, remember we were watching movies like 6-7 years ago, you were 16, he's like, I never thought you'd be cutting my hair.
Right.
So shit like that, you go through life blindly, and I think a lot of people try and figure out these pieces and try to put the puzzle together before the pieces are actually introduced to them.
Right.
Because I can put together a puzzle blindly. If I'm sticking the wrong piece in the wrong one, it ain't gonna fit.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think life is crazy. I think it's awesome. I think
so we're all put here with zero idea of what the fuck's going on. We get dropped. Yeah, we're supposed to follow morals, and hopefully people have morals. And like you said, religion was kind of that umbrella, or America was an umbrella for us, and now it's being stripped away. And I think that's why we have quote unquote villains running the world.
Yeah. Well, I think like, look at me, man. I'm covered in tattoos. I got face tattoos. People probably look at me and think I'm a criminal. But the truth is like, it's not about how you look or anything like that. It's just about the kind of person you are.
It's just average show.
Yeah, the content of your character. Like, you have to have good character. You have to understand, have self-awareness, and be a good person. And the people that are villains and they blow up, that most of the time they're probably even good people. They just know how to play the part. And now in this culture that we live in, more than ever, like, sex and violence and negativity and drama and all that's what sells the most now, and that's why it's like it's way easier. Like, if you're like this, goody two shoe, you're gonna be looked over because it's like, you're nothing different. But then somebody rolls through that, you're like, okay, that guy looks a little different, or that person has a little bit of a different approach to things. But
you'll be idolized, but you'll set yourself apart from everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought like you got to be an individual. You have to be a part of society, but you also have to be you. You know, and what I mean by that is like people are they want to fit in so bad, right? Like they're like, oh, I gotta fit in.
Everyone's a sheep, bro. Everyone's a fucking
exactly.
sheep. And not everybody, but majority.
No, but the people that I relate to, or the people that I like talking to, are the people that will disagree with me. Like I have friends that would be like, dude, no, I don't agree. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's what makes the world go around.
Yeah, and there's other people too. Yeah, but then there's other people, man, like I can just tell, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think sometimes people are intimidated by me, but I'll just tell that people are like, just yesing me, and I hate that. Like, I hate being like, I don't want to hear everyone wants to hear what they want to hear, but at the same time, it's like, how does that challenge yourself?
Yeah.
It's important.